Okay, my day was like total bleh. It was clear, like, okay, actually, hold on. Back up the story, don't start in the middle. It was like, I was not feeling so well around 12, and I laid down for a nap. Woke up at 4, and it was clear by 4, like, I was going into a full-on, like, RSD flare. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to avoid an ER trip, and so I'm gonna try and go to the urgent care. And my parents, like, they really do not understand at all, like, anything that's going on. And I know a lot of you can relate, because it's really, really hard to explain when you're chronically ill, and it sucks, because other people don't get it. Like, unless you experience it yourself, it's really hard to explain to people. Even the people who want to get it can only understand to, like, a certain extent. And so my dad is super angry that he's having to take me to the urgent care. He's super grumpy, and, and I'm just, like, trying to hold it together at this point. Like, just trying to keep from completely falling apart. Because I told my dad yesterday that if he didn't, like, actually make me an appointment for an internist, and that I was going to completely fall apart, that it was going to completely come to this point anyway. And I knew it would, and it did. But he's, being a grump anyway. And then, so we go to the urgent care. I thankfully got a very understanding doctor who, understood that this sort of stuff happens, and, she prescribed me a steroid pack and a few Lortab to get to my appointment next week. But I come home. Well, we dropped off my prescriptions, and then I came home. And it was kind of late-ish anyway. And my dad ate dinner. And then he went back out. And then I asked him to grab me something on his way, like, while he was out. But, I mean, I didn't make it a priority, and I thought about texting him and telling him that he shouldn't get me food, because he was being so irritated about it anyway. But, it's just, like, when I don't feel great or whatever, it's, like, I prefer to just eat fast food, because it's just, like, I don't know. But, anyway, so he went out and did that, or, well, he went out and tried to do that, but then, like, we thought the pharmacy closed at 8, but it turns out it closed, we thought the pharmacy closed at 9, but it turned out it closed at 8, and so he ended up not being able to pick up my meds tonight, and that, for me, just, like, it caused complete, like, total meltdown for me, and I'm not feeling very well tonight, at all, physically or mentally. It's like, it's just, I wish they would tell you, like, when they're doing this stuff, because it's like, we dropped them off at like, I want to say, like, 7:10, 7:20-ish, so, especially because they didn't call to say they were filled or anything, but I know they had to, in that amount of time, had to have filled these prescriptions, because one of them was sent in, the Meddraw pack was sent in to them, so I know they had to have filled that one, but they never called our house about it. And, I mean, the Lortab, they may or may not have gotten that one filled, but that one wasn't even the one I was so much worried about. It's, like, because the Meddraw pack I was supposed to start tonight, so I'm angry about that. I'm frustrated because I don't know what to do about my pain, because my sleep was so freaking terrible last night, and it's just, I hate this sort of stuff as being, and then it's like my parents, it's like my mom's like, well, you're smiling and laughing and stuff like that, and it's like you're not even allowed to smile and laugh if you're in pain, because if anyone catches you, they'll use it against you later. And it is so frustrating. I mean, I don't even... I hate to cry. Because I hate to cry. I really do. But it is frustrating, as a person with these issues. It's, I mean, my dad's like, oh, well, you know, you just have to make it one more night. But it's like, it's not just one more night. Last night was just one more night. The night before that was just one more night. Every night is just one more night, but I've been making it just one more night for the past, you know, I mean, years and years I've been in pain. And I mean, this doctor was really understanding because she understood that it was like just me trying to make it to the next thing, and that's so hard. It's just me trying to make it to my next doctor's appointment, which is next Wednesday. And it's so hard to make it to that next doctor's appointment. But that's what you have to do. And I mean, that's what you have to do, and it is really hard. And it is really hard when people, especially the people around you, the people who are around you most, your family and who are supposed to support you, don't understand that every single day, I mean, I can wake up and I can smile and I can be happy, or I can look happy and maybe I'm not. But those things don't mean I'm in less or more pain, and what you see isn't necessarily what you get. I mean, I've lived in pain for so long that, I mean, I can walk when I'm in pain, I can stand when I'm in pain, I can scream, I can fight, I can fuss. I can do anything I have to do when I'm in pain because I've always had to do it. I mean, that's just, I've always had to do it. I can go out and be with friends when I'm in pain. I can go out and do this and that, and I can do all of these things when I'm in pain. And it's like, you can't go and say, well, you did this, so apparently you're not in pain, because that's not true. Because I always have to do these things when I'm in pain. I always have to do them when I'm in pain. I mean, that's just... I'm always in pain. It never turns off. It's not... I mean, there's no time when I'm not in pain. It's not like, well, that's something you do when you're not in pain, so apparently if you're doing it again, you're not in pain. Because there's never a time when I'm not in pain. I'm always in pain. It's more like, well, you do that when you're in pain, and you do that when you're in pain, and you do that while you're in pain, so you're doing it again, so you might be in pain. Oh. I mean, the logic they try to use to reason that I'm not in pain is the most idiotic logic. But for some reason it makes sense to these able-bodied people that walk around and their aches and pains, they come and go. But mine don't. But mine don't. And you know what? I think it's fair enough that the rest of the world isn't punished like this. I would never wish this on anybody. But when people are so ignorant about it, I got 2 bowls of ice, and I asked my dad to put his hands in them to feel what I feel. And he said, "Oh, you're trying to hurt me." I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be raw here because, I mean, this is a project that means a lot to me. Out of anger, I hit him, and it's something I didn't mean to do. It's something a part of me did that I'm not proud of, did to him in a moment of irrational anger and I'm very sorry for it, and I didn't mean to do it. And it's something I'm working on because I'm trying to get the help I need for whatever part of me this is, whether it's some type of psychosis or some type of whatever. I'm trying to get the help I need for that too. But I mean, his response was to be completely irrational, to scream and to fuss and all these things. And the thing is, I know I barely tapped him. I know he couldn't have been in any amount of pain, like more than a stubbed toe. But it set him off. It set him off so much. And I mean, the thing is, that's the thing. Able-bodied people, when they're asked to be in pain, when they're forced to be in pain against their will, I mean, everything, it's just the end all. It's the end all. It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world if they're in pain. But they're asking me to be in pain all day, every day, and then saying, well, if you're not in pain, and then acting like it's a crime if I'm not in pain, saying, well, you're smiling, you're laughing, you must not be in pain, and then acting like that's a crime. If I'm not in pain all the time, it's some sort of, I just can't. I should end this here because, but I mean, the system is very broken, but I think the way society views people in pain is very broken too. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel hopeless. This isn't because I wasn't positive enough. This isn't because I didn't pray enough. This isn't because I did something wrong. Is it?